Hi, I'm Mark Thorburn and welcome back to Tuts Plus Introduction to Sony Vegas Pro. Now that we have our media safely imported, let's look at getting everything in the right place for your chosen project. This is where we left off last time. We have our footage imported into Sony Vegas. We know how to put things together. We know how to move them around within the timeline, whether we want to move them together like that, or whether we want to move them individually like that. Now, having the clips numbered means that we know that they're all in the right order. So by putting this together, it's always more fun to have a specific project. The project that we showed you before was this postcard from Prague, from our holiday footage of the fantastic city of Prague. So the idea with the trail is almost like a tourist promo, if you like. So we are looking to convey how beautiful Prague is. We're also looking to convey that it's not just about the architecture, so there's a little bit of excitement in there. And in order to demonstrate the things that Sony Vegas Pro can do, there's a little bit of time lapse in there as well. So we have all of these items here in the right order. Let's do our first pass edit then, our rough sort of first pass edit, if you like. So we start over here with clip number 1, and the opening image here is to convey the majesty and the beauty. It's sort of halfway up a hill as you're heading towards the castle in Prague, and it's a great shot of those bridges, one after the other, after the other, after the other, disappearing into the misty distance. There's been no colorization as of yet or anything on this image. That is as it was shot straight out of the camera. And when you have somewhere like Prague, it's very difficult not to get it to look beautiful. It really is a stunning city. So that's the kind of feel that we're looking for. We're looking for the majesty. We're looking for a nice way to convey how beautiful the city is, but also the excitement as well. So what we're going to do is start out with a fade in. And again, this is going to be a sort of rough first pass that we're going to do here. And to fade in, what you do is you grab this corner here until you see that wedge of cheese, as it were, and then you fade it in as much or as little as you would like. So we'll start like that and give that a little bit of a play, which means it's going to play like that. One more time, which is quite nice, quite a nice gentle opener there. So that's what we're going to do. And in order to keep the sort of relaxed atmosphere, there's going to be quite a lot of crossfading that goes on as opposed to hard cuts on the individual pieces here. So next thing we're going to do is to crossfade into the river here. And again, trial and error, just sort of check it and see how it comes out. It's a nice crossfade. Works very well. Yep, I'm happy with that. And then we'll carry on. We'll move on to the bridge sequence here. We don't want to spend too long, by the way. So once again, just remember it's the left mouse button, grab the end and shorten it down. So let's have a look at our lengths here. They're not too bad. See how long that takes to play through. Nice intro. It establishes the beauty of the scene. And then we cut through to the bridge from the other side. Maybe slightly shorter there. It's a little bit too long, so we'll just move that in like that. And then once we get to this image here, want to slow down the people on the bridge. So check their speed. They're still a little bit fast. So again, it's control, grab the end and pull it out like that. Yeah, it's not too bad. They're still a little fast. I think we can afford with this frame rate to go a little slower. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Right, so once again, we're going to crossfade that from the bridge by the side of the river scene there. Again, maybe tighten it up a little bit. We don't want to dwell too long on there. And roughly get these in the right position. So we start out establishing the beauty of the city with the bridges looking from the distance, and then a closer shot onto the Charles Bridge, one of the main tourist attractions, which then flips to, again, the Charles Bridge, but this is from above, taken from one of the towers that you can see at either end of the bridge. So there we go, and we start putting those together. So I'll carry on doing that with this sort of slower establishing architectural grandeur sequence, as it were, with these here, and then we will move on to the time-lapse speeded up version to convey the excitement and the energy, and particularly when we go into the night shots. So the change of pace comes with this here. This was filmed and this has been pre-rendered to be sped up because it was over quite a bit of time, just sitting on a bench
in the castle square, which you see here. And one of those fortuitous things that happens is a lady came, this lady here, and stood studying her map or tourist guide or whatever it was, whilst everybody else is milling around. She stands pretty much perfectly still. So this sequence, as is like that, which is great. She's a brilliant reference point. Yes, she's slightly in the middle of the frame, but whilst everybody else is doing their thing, she stands still, which I think is a really nice effect. But again, this is going to change the mood of the Prague promo, as it were. So again, we'll put that up to there, but I think we'll make this probably a reasonably hard cut, roughly positioning it. So we'll go from all the relaxing things, and then we'll have a change of music and pace, and bang, we're into the time-lapse piece there where she kicks off. So that's that in position. And then once we've done that, because we've changed the pace and we've changed the energy, we're going to start moving into these night sequences here, street performers, and up the excitement of the sequence that we're trying to convey. So again, we'll start putting these together. Some harder cuts on these. Crossfades, yes, but tighter crossfades perhaps, or maybe just hard cuts from one to the other, to the other, to the other, because we're going to use some fun and some time lapse and things, as you saw in the finished trail that we played you earlier on. So again, I'll start putting those together, but we are establishing this change of mood. So the reason for choosing these on the ground, first of all, is for intrigue. You see them and you think, oh, what are they all about? And then we cut quite quickly into the performer himself, who's spinning the fire for the gathered tourists. Exciting to watch. Not quite so easy to film, because obviously he's moving around all over the place, but we did manage to get in there. So we'll choose a sequence that best demonstrates that. And again, we don't want it to last too long, because it's going to move from shot to shot to shot. This sequence is just walking down the street with the camera in hand. The intention always when I filmed this was, at some point I will speed this up in order to add some energy to it. And as we're going along, you can see what the tourists are doing at their own pace. There's a section where a lady is filming this bridge here. She's coming up right now, this lady here, on her pad. And you can see I turn slightly just to catch that as I'm going past, but obviously not to be too intrusive on what she's doing. So the idea here, as I say, is to speed this up. And if you remember, the way to do that is to grab the end of it here, hit the control button, drag it in tighter, press play, and you'll see that that is speeded up. And I think we can probably afford to speed it up even more, because it's quite good fun. And that's the extent of it, so that's as fast as it will go. And that's okay. It's deliberately shaky. It's a bit of fun walking through the streets of Prague. So again, that's going to come after our fire eater here, conveying the energy of everything that is going on. But we don't want all of that. That's far too long. So again, we'll look at the pace and see how it goes. We're going to cut to that, going to cut to that, cutting to that. Maybe we'll take it in a little bit, get a little bit closer to the end, but we do want the people around. So let's try that sequence there. And I do particularly like that sweep to the right where the lady has her pad. So let's take it a little bit further up and try that. There she is, and back to the gate. That's fine. That's fine. And then we'll trim it in because we don't need too much on the end. So there we go. We're starting on the sequence there, and I'll continue to put the rest of the bits and pieces together that we've got here. Again, we slow it down once we get here because we've got the night majesty of the various buildings. Oh, that's in the daytime part, but the night part here. So we've gone from our frantic situation through the streets at speed, and then we're going to take it down a bit. Something else that you might want to do, you see here we've got the castle in that third position there, but if we wanted to, we open up this window here, and this is where obviously we can move in and move out without losing definition. I think if we have the cathedral, rather, not the castle, there, I think it benefits slightly from just moving a little more to that third position, and that's not going to ruin the definition at all. So you just have your square here and move in on the frame like that. If you wanted to create the movement yourself across the timeline, there's the duration of the clip there, and you can put in your keyframes, anywhere you like. So as it plays at the moment, it stays static, but if we wanted to, at the end of the clip, move it to there, move it in like that, it's created, as you can see there, a keyframe marker, and then when we play this, you will see ever so slowly, but it is slowly zooming in. So there we have it, rough positioning with no audio whatsoever of how our postcard from Prague trail is going to be. We've got the crossfades in there. Quick reminder, if you want to change the frames, then you can do so like that. Just click the little square there and go for it. So we've got everything in the rough position of where we want it to be on our first pass.
So, now that we have our first rough pass completed, we can look at refining our project and the basic audio tools available within Sony Vegas Pro. I'm Mark Thorburn. Thanks for watching.